Hey guys, I know it's been a long time since I've streamed or posted any videos, so I figured I'd get back on track. I have something, a treat for you guys today. About a month, 2 months ago, I was in a public speaking class in my college, and for the entire class, I was able to do games or gaming related content for all of my speeches. And today, I've got one for you. This is my persuasive speech, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. All right. Apologize for last week. Technology was not my friend. Last week, Monday. All right. Life has taught me well that evil is inevitable and can never truly be destroyed. It can be banished, it can be thwarted, it can be driven back, but only for a time. Modern media has inundated us with the trope of the tragic villain, an antagonist whose backstory and motives tug at our heartstrings as opposed to our sense of fear and danger. And while these can create compelling and interesting characters, they take away from what we know as the villain, what we know as evil throughout human history. And when evil loses its bite, heroes in these stories lose their glory. Today in my presentation, we will be going over what I believe to be some of the best examples of evil in our literature and religion through history, and give, at the very end, my prime examples as to what I believe is perfect evil represented in modern media. Hatred, destruction, terror. Why true evil creates legendary heroes. What defines true evil? Well, true evil villains, were never good from the beginning. They were never children whose parents betrayed them. They were never princes or princesses who were denied the throne. They were never these characters or entities who, through no fault of their own, fell to darkness. They're not broken. They're not misunderstood. They're either evil by their nature, or they are simply choosing to be so. They create a sense of urgency and moral clarity for the heroes. There is no, we need to talk to him to hopefully talk him down like they did in the Avengers movies with Thanos. They first tried to initially get the stones and try to stop him from doing it rather than just straight up killing the man, which, in my opinion, would have been a better move. True evil villains do not give the players something, or the heroes, I should say, something to latch onto to hopefully appeal to their pride, their logic, their reason, some other aspect of their personality to hopefully talk them down. These are the kind of villains that you cannot save. You can only stop them. Which leads me to modern examples of very good, very evil, true evil villains in modern media. First, we're going to look at Lord of the Rings, an absolute classic. For those of you who haven't read Lord of the Rings, any of them, even the Hobbit books, it's an acquired taste because Tolkien isn't exactly the kind of person that jumps from one topic to the next. You'll get an entire character's backstory who only appears once, and then he moves on. The Fellowship must carry the One Ring, the last vestige of Sauron to Mount Doom to be destroyed. Sauron is the purest evil in Middle-earth. He is the embodiment of tyranny. He's the embodiment of destruction, enslaving. He is opposed to all that is good, whereas the Fellowship represents good, purity, innocence, and morality. Moving on to religion, we have Zoroastrianism, Ahura Mazda versus Angre Manu, who is the inspiration for the devil character in modern Christianity. Ahura Mazda is the benevolent creator of the world. He is essentially God, as we recognize him in either Hebrew mythos or in the Christian mythos. Ahura Mazda represents all that is evil, deception, lies, destruction, chaos. Angre Manu is the purest of pure evil in this religion. There is no forgiving him. He wasn't an angel that fell. He wasn't some spirit that became corrupted. He was actually created this way by Ahura Mazda himself. He does not ask for excuse or forgiveness. He just is. Next, in a more modern example, we have It. The Losers Club in this book represents courage, goodness, innocence, fighting against that which would destroy. Pennywise, which the clown is not his true form, that's just the one he prefers the most, is a primordial being that exists before time. His entire makeup is consumption, is destruction, is, at its purest form, evil. Now we will get to what I believe to be the prime examples of evil in modern media and how they embody every bit of evil from each of these forms of literature and then some. The prime evils of the Diablo franchise. Evil done right. We have Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, Baal, the Lord of Destruction, and Diablo, the Lord of Terror. These three beings, in my humble opinion, represent the purest of pure evil, villainy, and antagonism that it is possible to get in today's modern media. Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred, uses manipulation, corruption, and turning men against each other using the power of hatred that he is able to infect with. He created the Triune, a false religion, in which he convinced vast swaths of humanity during the Sin War novel series, which is fantastic, by the way, into worshiping him and his brothers by claiming that the three spirits that they worship, Nephis, Dialon, and Dalor, were these benevolent spirits of creation and goodness, when in fact they were a mask for these three monsters right here. Whenever he was imprisoned within a soul stone by Tyrael and Haradrim, he twisted the Zakharum church for which he was kept as a safety, turning them into his minions of hatred. He led them to torture, brutal executions, and unholy wars in his name, and turned everything in the region of Kurast into a blasted hellscape for no other purpose than simply because he could. Baal, the Lord of Destruction, who is featured the least in the games, uses obliteration, chaos, and ruination of all that exists. Some of his more prominent escapades is he frequently indulges in the consumption of human flesh in things called feasts. He does so not for some grand purpose, not as part of some ritual, not as part as some redeeming magic spell work. He does so strictly for the purpose of annihilation. He is sadistic in its most primal form with that. In the events of Diablo 2, he nearly ends the entire mortal world in an apocalyptic war, where he led hordes of demons across the land of Sanctuary, which is the mortal world in this particular franchise, for no other purpose, no grand design, no proving a point, no redemption arc of some kind. He did it just to see creation destroyed, just to see everything in ruin and laugh about it. Diablo, the most well-known of the three, simply because that's what the franchise is named after, is the Lord of Terror. He uses fear, psychological domination, and corruption. Despite his fairly physically intimidating form, he corrupts the great King Leoric of Tristram, driving him to madness, tyranny, and pointless bloody wars, simply because the fact that he could. After the events of the first game, he invades the mind of one of the greatest heroes, Prince Aidan, and then breaks him mentally, using him to release his brothers from their imprisonment and bondage within the Soul Stones, summoning demons across the world, which creates the events of the second game, which in my opinion is the best. In conclusion, tragic villains have their place, but they weaken the story for the heroes. They don't create a sense of urgency or moral clarity enough to cause the greatest of heroes in that universe or in that particular setting to rise and stand against them. They might reason with them. They might try to imprison them or try to, at least for one way or another, remove them peacefully from the setting, rather than trying to destroy them, to kill them, to put an end to them permanently. Without true evil in storytelling, we can forget what evil looks like in reality. We try to give everything excuse these days. Oh, he was like that because of childhood. He was like that because he didn't succeed in school. He was like that because somebody convinced him he was bad or wrong. You know, he's taking his vengeance out on the world. We forget what true evil looks like, what the unrepentant, unforgiving, unreasonable evil that we are so accustomed to in our ancient stories truly looks like. So we can't recognize it in reality anymore because we constantly try to give it an excuse. The prime evils in the Diablo franchise are absolute in their evil. There's no forgiveness. There is no redemption. There is no trying to appeal to their emotions or morality. They force us to take a side and take a stand. While true tragic villains can compel us and tug at our sympathies. As soon as I can hit play on this button, because I forgot that's how that works.
She pretended to love me. She betrayed me.
True evil does more than that. It forces us to challenge our sense of hope.
The skies shall rain fire, and the seas will become as blood. The righteous shall fall before the wicked, and all creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell.
And when heroes triumph over such true and absolute evil, they become legends. As soon as I can hit the button again. There we go. Thank you.